Hey, Dominic.
Good morning
How are
and good
you?
evening. Yeah, I'm all right. Mm. How's the weather on a Friday night for you?
It's been partly sunny. Uh, it's 82 degrees.
Nice. It's only what 50 here, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to go down to 49 tonight, but
Oh, okay.
right now it's 82, 83 degrees.
Well, that'd be good for me at the moment.
Yeah, you'd like it a little warmer, I know.
Yeah. Mm. Russell,
Hey, Russell, what's going on? I don't know if Joe's going to be here tonight. Is tonight the night he's not going to be here, or is it tomorrow afternoon?
mm,
I don't remember.
mm, yep, yep, I'll certainly see.
Justin's live. He started 17 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
Those gamers can't get away from it, can they?
No, they don't seem to be able to.
It's an addiction, I think.
Yeah.
But if it makes them happy, it makes them happy.
Oh, definitely.
I can't be judgmental.
Oh, no, no. It is what it is.
Yes.
Okay.
I noticed that I've got a few of the regulars come in here, but not like it used to be. Um,
Mm,
maybe it's because I don't talk enough drone stuff, but there's so much drone stuff going on all the other channels. I'm just not big into rehashing what somebody 20 other people have already said.
nah. Yep.
And I enjoy having just an open forum where, you know,
Oh, definitely.
we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. Hey,
Hello,
Sunstar,
Lance,
how you doing? And Lance,
Brenda, Sunstar.
Russell was here first.
Yeah. Everybody's welcome to join.
Yes.
Hey, Laura, how's your computer going? Have you finished it off? Have you started it? Have you?
Yeah, I know David was working on it, but it wasn't going so good
No, no.
because what happened was somehow or another his files got wiped out of the computer when he didn't back it up into something else.
Oh, it's not good.
There's more to working on computers than I can understand, but I do know
Yeah,
that if you've got any files on there that you want to keep, you've got to save them to another venue and then
yeah,
bring them back.
yeah. Yep. I know that feeling.
Sunstaro, thank you very much, my man. He's looks forward to our live streams twice a day. Dominic.
Mm,
And we're coming into Friday evening, so there's going to be a lot more activity on YouTube too.
mm. And for some people, it's pizza night.
Yep. Oh, exactly. That's what Don always talks about, doesn't he? Isn't Donald big into pizza night?
I know Steve Carpenter is.
Steve Carpenter, that's right.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, okay. So that's good. Oh, Joel. Uh, oh, okay. It's pizza night at Lance's then.
Okay, so she did back it up to Google.
Oh, that's all right then.
Must have been an automatic thing, you know?
Well, that's good.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is it
Lance,
the same
Lance
the
says,
same toppings?
yeah, Lance, what do you get on the pizza, Lance?
Yeah. Is it the same pizza every Friday? Same toppings or different toppings? I know I'd
Well, I don't know.
want
Since
a little bit of variety.
since you just came back from Hawaii, do you suppose he's having Hawaiian pizza, which is ham,
It could be,
pie?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Mark. 40 years, God. Not the same. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Okay. So you mix it up a little bit, but you just have pizza every Friday night. Okay.
He is having Hawaiian pizza tonight. Oh, yes. Interesting. And here's Mark.
Here comes Mark.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mark. How you doing?
Not too bad, thank you.
Oh, that's good. Hey, Randy.
Let's do
Hi,
Randy.
Randy. Managed to get yourself some form of getting on, I assume,
Yeah.
phone or iPad or something, seeing as how the laptop's dead.
Mm.
I don't know if I should show you this or not, Dominic, but I'm going to give you a quick flash and then I'll tell you what it is.
Okay. Oh,
And
okay.
it's a very old. My uncle gave it to me, which was my mother's brother,
Mm-hmm.
and I forgot I had it.
Mm.
It's rusty, and
Yeah.
so I've been kind of whittling away at the rust and stuff. And when I read it, it says it is a. Just a minute. Let me get my extender eyes on here. FC Arms.
Oh, okay.
It's a DOURLN AC 2200.
Oh, okay.
But I thought about taking it someplace and have them look at it and see what they think of it.
Hmm.
I don't have any bullets for the damn thing, but it is what it is, and I found it in my my armoire tucked in the back there.
Oh, okay.
Then I remembered my uncle gave that to me probably 20 years ago.
Oh,
Yes, I did, Lance. I have a fresh SD card in the drone now.
hmm. Oh, that's
And I
good.
also put a second SD card in the SD card auxiliary holder that's in the case too. So
Oh, great.
in case I get into a situation like that. Yeah, I missed 3 ships in a row this afternoon, and it was a little bit cloudier than it is right now, and it wasn't
Mhm.
very bright, and so I just passed on them. But the next one that's downbound is like 20 miles out in the lake, headed down towards Port Huron, and it's going to Montreal. It's called the Rudy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a ocean going. Yeah, there's not a lot of ships out here that I care to get.
Oh, there's your question.
What's that?
The answer to it is Joe's here.
Aha, Joe is here.
Yeah, I'm here. Every time I go to get on, somebody calls me.
Well, I couldn't remember if you told me you weren't going to be able to be here tonight, or is it tomorrow night you're not going to be here?
Monday morning.
Monday morning.
Stop.
Monday morning.
Stop.
Okay.
Monday
See,
morning, I probably won't be on.
the old man's brain doesn't work. How did the flight go with Johnny?
Went pretty good. He tried to peer pressure me. It didn't work. He handed me the build he did with the remote to do it all manually. He says, "Here, try it." I went, "No, I'm not being peer pressured."
Yeah.
Then he flew through a soccer goal where it had a little hole in the net, and He said, come on, you know you can do that. You can do that with the Avada. I said, yeah, I probably can. So I got the Avada out, took off, went around, got right in front of her neck to go through that little hole, went right above it, right? And I said, that's going to be on the video, and I'm going to do that in slow motion and say, you will not peer pressure.
There you go. So you must have had a good time.
And we had a good time. There was a young girl out there kicking a soccer ball around. So I was following her around when she was kicking, a couple of times. And I said, she's got to be one of the high school teams around here. She's out there practicing. And I was thinking SSA or one of the major teams that have really good people. Because if she's going to be out by herself, she really wants to get better. So, especially it was hot. So when she was walking back, because when she passed, she looked over at us and waved, right? And then when she was walking back to her car, I walked over and I said, who you play for? What school? And she started laughing. She goes, I'm 30 years old. And she did not look 30 years old.
Mm. Well, that's good.
So I said, well, geez. I said, I thought you played for a high school around here. I said, I
Andrew.
shoot photography for the paper, and I explained to her. And she started laughing. She goes, thank you. She goes, I just moved here from Lafayette. And she got to talking to me and we were talking. And she said, oh, I'd love to see the video. I'd love to see it. Like, I sent it to you. She said, I'll send you an email. And then she says, shoot, I'm playing. The reason I dusted off, I haven't played soccer in years. The reason I was dusted it off is my brother and I are playing tomorrow. And I want to make sure I can at least play a little better, like that. And I said, well, you'll do all right. You look good. And she said, I might have to get you to show me around Mandeville. I said, there you go. That sounds like trouble. But she's emailed me. She's emailing me back and forth 3 or 4 times already. She saw the video. She said, I love your channel. Your stuff's great, and all of this. She said, I can't wait to see. I said, well, it's Monday morning it comes out. I said, and you're in the end of it, you got your little cameo about 15 seconds. I gave you 15 seconds of fame.
What'd she say?
She said, that's great. I can't wait to see it.
So did you, not to be nosy, but did you notice any rings on her fingers or?
None. She said she just moved here, back here, by her brother. And there's 2 different names. The name that she gave me, the last name is different from the email last name. So I'm thinking it's coming out of a divorce or something. That's what I'm thinking. But I told her, I said, yeah, I said, just let me know. But I'll tell you, she was about 100 yards from us, and Johnny thought she was a high school girl too. She had that little ponytail bouncing around, and she didn't look like a 30-year-old. Justin saw the pictures, and he says, damn, she's in shape for 30 years old. I said, yeah, that's why I thought she was high school. But she was out there by herself, and it looks like she was just walking around trying to find something to do,
Doing her thing, huh?
Justin said to me, well, you just give her my name. I said, oh, hell no, get away from me.
Well, yeah, he's got a girlfriend now.
He hopes he's got a girlfriend. He still thinks he's not sure, As much as they've been seeing each other. Now, he did say something today. That she's going out with her friend tonight. They're going out. And says, if he finds out she goes on a date, he's done. He said, because I'm not going to be just there when she don't want to date somebody and see if she gets somebody else,
Yeah, he doesn't want to be the backup squeeze.
That's what he said. He said that's it. Because he said, I got my own apartment coming, to hell with it. And put it like this. It wouldn't be hard for him to find another girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because he got a few of them that chase him all the time.
Now this girl that was out there playing soccer, did she tell you what she did for a living or just hanging?
Didn't say nothing. I
Okay.
didn't ask.
You know, normally everybody says, well, where do you work? You know, that kind of thing.
Mm.
She subscribed to my channel. You know, I don't know. If I never see her again, it's all right. You know.
Ah, well, it's nice to make new acquaintances and have them get used to who you are, and maybe they'll pass you your channel on to other people. And yeah, it's called networking.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I always network. Yeah, we had a good time. We got out there, and
Good one, Laura.
the video is gonna be a little bit different. They got a roundabout out there that's right by the edge of the park, and I've gone over it and did a top down where you do a top down and you move it and you spiral a little bit. But I went over there and looking straight at it, I did a hyperlapse, and then I went directly above it and did a hyperlapse. So I've got two hyperlapses back to back on the video. Then it goes into the spiral where I'm going down. And that looked pretty good. It was the whole first time I've done it that way, where you got back to back hyperlapses at different angles. And boy, there were a lot of cars going around that sucker. That's what made it better. But Johnny, when he was leaving, he looked at me and he said, "Now, if I turn left, which way does that go? Or where the park's at?" I said, "That'll bring you right into Oshner Boulevard, bring you right back down to 22, 21, right there by the interstate." And he goes, because he was going to Sam, he wanted to go to Sam's, and Sam's is right down there, right? And I said, "Well, I'm going to Sam's," so he followed me down there. Went and got me one of those rotisserie chickens.
Your
Yeah.
I got
your audio keeps cutting in and out, Joe.
How about now?
Yep, good.
Yeah, I got a rotisserie chicken. Then I went and got a
Good.
bag of chicken wings.
Nice.
I know what I'm eating this weekend.
Did you see what Laura put in the chat?
Did she tell me to shut up again?
No, she said she just felt sorry for you, Joe, with your tiny channel.
You want to compare, Laura? Let me go see how many subs Laura's got. Well, Justin works the next 3 days,
Mhm.
and they've got a big block party tonight up in the North 40,
Oh, great.
which is a bad area.
Oh,
They haven't
Oh.
had one in like 7 years up there like this.
Oh.
I can't remember. He called it something. He said it's the first time in 7 years. And 7 years ago, 5 people were shot.
Uh-oh.
So I said, "So what does that mean?" He said, "Might be on tonight, you know."
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Well, that's another indication our society has changed, and the young people have no fear of whatever they do. They figure they can do it as long as they can do it.
Oh yeah.
And then
Did you see?
you got the outside element mixing in, you know.
Yeah. That's all.
Hmm.
1611. That's all. Okay. But you see that pursuit in Buffalo? The guy pulled the car over.
No.
He pulled the car over. They had a 6-year-old in the front seat without a seatbelt, and
Mm.
the guy was in the front seat. He didn't have a seatbelt.
Oh,
So
no.
they had the door open. They were trying to get identification of the guy and everything else. And he said that was his cousin. Then they asked him again and he said it was his nephew. So that kind of threw a flag when he couldn't get who the relative was. And then his license was expired and he couldn't find registration for the car. So the cop's standing there in the doorway and the guy all of a sudden just throws it in gear and takes off, starts it and goes with the cop stuck in the door.
Wow.
And he's hollering at the guy. He said, "You need to stop. You're going to kill me. You need to stop. You're going to kill me," like this. He told him it 3 times. After the 3rd time, you started hearing shots go off. And he wound up killing the guy.
Shit.
Well,
The kid wasn't even hurt.
When all stories being told that it was a definite bad guy, wasn't.
Oh, it was a bad guy. But they got body cam, his body cam. They got the body cam of the officer with him, chasing him.
The car cam.
Yeah, so they had all of it. And the guy just took off and he hung on. Justin
Point,
said,
Andrew.
they teach us to jump out. Don't try to hang on.
Yeah, don't hang on.
He said, but I said he might have had his arm wrapped up and then couldn't get out of it. You
Yeah.
know?
Where was that at, Joe?
Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York.
But Dominic, I'm gonna tell you, Johnny called me this morning and said, "What stickers you need?" And we were going through the stickers.
Yeah.
He brought me 12 stickers I didn't have.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I got a bag of everything. I got the South Florida coasters, everything.
Yeah, that's good.
I felt like it was Christmas today.
Warren.
Hey, Warren.
Okay.
So have anybody has heard from Bill?
Bill Chin. Not
Yes.
since-
So the other night he came on, they said he's terminal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was saying that the thing they wanted to operate on in his back was a cancer, but they didn't know what it was.
They need to
But
find out.
they couldn't do any operations until they got rid of the blood clots in his lungs first.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because I
Well,
think
and
it
he
was
lived-
Justin was telling him, go to a university hospital.
He lives in Canada.
They've got to have something.
Yeah, you just don't get blood clots in your lungs and cancer in your back and all that kind of stuff. But you know, he should be seriously in a hospital,
Yeah.
and a good hospital, not just any general hospital.
Yep.
Mm.
Try that again.
Okay.
You got to get a good computer.
Comes Justin now.
Power kicked off right when I like it kicked off for like 2 seconds right when I came in.
Wow.
Mm. Oh,
Well, I watched what's it? Bad Boys 4 this afternoon.
okay.
Did you?
It was good. And then from that, I'm halfway through Furiosa,
Oh, okay.
the new Mad Max one. It's 2.5 hours long.
Jesus.
So I got my weather station sensor outside now, saying that it's 56 humidity, 91.4 degrees.
Oh, nice.
And I
That's
moved
just
it where
nice.
it was right behind my computer. So it was picking up the heat from the computer. And I moved it over a little bit and it's dropped 3 degrees in here. It's saying 78 in here. It could be 78. Because it feels like 78 where I'm at.
Is your air conditioner not working or what?
I'll put it to you this way. This air conditioner is on 73 and it's running. And it's
Mhm.
blowing cold air out. It's just when it gets to this point in the summertime, you got to close all. I got my problem right now is I got the door open over there. Not open, it's to the window open. I need to close it to keep the heat from coming in.
Yeah.
But I went out and put the sensor out there and I opened the dog door and I wanted to see that little fat chihuahua I got could get through it. Because she wouldn't go through it, right? So then I closed the door and I went to do something, looked up, she walked right through it, so she still fit through it. And she looked like she fit through it better than she did last time. So she's lost weight.
Mm.
Slid right through it, and then Loki won't go through it. But Tino took off through it too. They were all excited when I opened the door for them. 'Cause I used to open it for them like that, and they'd go in and out all day. I'd be looking for Cleo, and it'd be you're talking about Mia underneath the dirt, right? Underneath the tree. I'll be sitting here looking for Cleo. As before I had the recliner, so I could see out. And I'd be sitting there and I'd look over, and the sun would be shining. She'd be laying out sideways, all with the sun hitting her,
Wow.
right? And I'd say, "You better take your butt back in here." Like this, she come in here and she'd be going,
Yeah.
like panting because she was like getting like cooked, But she loved being out there like that.
Well, the thing of it is what somebody told me once, and I don't know, because I wish we had something we put on our head and we could understand what they're thinking and what they're doing, but
Yeah, exactly.
they said that if they have any pains or any issues, that just like we do, how you get like an electric blanket or a heating pad or
Yep.
whatever, they like it, but it also makes them hot. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
So here you go, Dominic. The National Weather Bureau has issued a heat advisory for Mandeville, Louisiana, July 13th, 11 a.m. to July 13th, 7 p.m. They're saying 98 degrees tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So you know what that means, huh?
it's 82 here right now, Joe.
That means I ain't going outside tomorrow.
And temperature's about 50, Joel. It is 48.4. So half.
It must be cool where Warren's at if he's got it set to 75, because I'd never have mine set to 75 in Florida.
No, I've
Maybe
got
70. 71 if I'm feeling zesty. Never higher than that.
Well, I keep mine on 73.
Now, hell no.
And it's telling me that indoor right now it's 74 degrees. But it's where I've got that, I gotta move that thing. Because it's where it's at, it's getting the heat from the computer. That's why it's showing 78.
I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay, Dominic.
See, that's why I'm gonna be honest, I actually prefer window units over central air, and I'll tell you why, because one breaks, at least you can send close off into another room.
Yeah.
And two, I think that they work better for just little rooms. Like you get more, I feel like you get more out of it. And I don't know, central air it's expensive every year. It seems like, they have to fix something on those damn things. Almost every place I've lived in, almost every single year, they've had to come out and do something to it because it would stop working. It just seems to get really expensive. Window units aren't that overly expensive. If somebody needs to replace it, it's easier to save up a couple $100 than it is a couple thousand, to get your air conditioner fixed.
Yeah, I walked over to close that vent, those curtains, and I could feel the heat over there.
Well, it's 53 degrees outside, dropping to 48 degrees overnight, and it's 68 degrees in my front room.
Yeah. That's like I said, the good thing about window units is You know, if it's like you and a couple and you live in like a 2-bedroom house, you can flip the air off and all the rest of the house if you're not hanging out in there, you know? Window units really don't cost that much to run.
Yeah, the house that I was looking at, it has two big central airs, but the den area has a separate unit.
It's got 2 central air systems.
Hmm.
Ooh, that could
One
get
for upstairs,
pricey.
one for downstairs.
Dude, those, I've been to those really nice multi-million dollar houses I used to go to. Ones I
Yeah.
took you guys on a tour of one day. Yeah, some
Uh-huh.
of those houses had like 5 or 6 condensers on the outside. I mean, big
Yeah,
ones. Like these things had some serious air conditioning, you know.
tonnage. A lot of tonnage.
But some of them were 3, 4, or some of them were 2 or 3 story houses, like, but they were mansions, like they were massive. Probably like 20 bedroom type houses, you know.
Yeah, window units wouldn't work very well over here. We don't have them kind of windows anymore.
No, but you can get those little wheel around air conditioning units like Tim got, and it has all the different connections for like every style window. You know, it comes with all the little plates and everything.
I've got a wheel around one. It's about 3.5 foot tall, 2 foot wide, and 1.5 foot deep. I'm not quite sure why they call it a portable air conditioner, other than it's on wheels.
That's what Tim ended up buying this past year.
It's heavy as fuck.
Dude, Tim went almost 3 years without air conditioning in Australia. I was like, how the fuck
Yeah, I
did you
can't
manage to do
understand how
that?
he did that.
Dude, I couldn't have done that shit. That'd have been like first thing I'd have been saving money up for. After the first fucking 2 weeks of dealing with one summer, I'd have been done. I'd have been like, nope, fuck that, I'm going.
Well, occasionally in the middle of summer, it gets hot enough to warrant actually turning it on every now and again. But other than that, it just sits there in the corner.
Here, ours run damn near year round. There's maybe a month or so that we don't really use it that much, but yeah, it's pretty much running all the time.
Like I said, the temperature in my front room is 20 degrees centigrade, which is
Stop,
68,
stop.
and
Oh
that's
yeah,
without
that's nice.
heating, without any air conditioning or anything. That's just the ambient temperature.
Oh, that was like my friend in California. They had a really deep basement under their house, and you'd go down in there in the summertime, and it was just so nice down there, nice and cool, because it was probably the top of the basement was probably 3 or 4 feet below the ground surface. Like it was a really deep basement, and we're really, really far down in the ground.
Yeah,
Had to walk down a real steep set of stairs to get down to the bottom of it.
difference between your values and our values is I consider 20 degrees to be relatively warm rather than cool.
Oh no, I love that. That's perfect weather. That's the type of weather don't really need a jacket. You don't really, you're comfortable in shorts and a t-shirt outside.
Well, my heating is set to come on if it gets down to 17 degrees.
Fuck, you got your heat set to go down. Oh, hell no.
Yeah, if
That's
the
what,
temperature drops to 17 degrees, my 17 degrees centigrade.
I don't know. I can handle if it's like I can handle if it's like 50 degrees inside a house. That don't bother me none. Just put a
I'm
pair of sweats and some socks on and sweatshirt. Good to go.
17 must be about 55-ish.
Yeah, I can handle that without no heat. That's one thing we don't use a lot here. Like, I don't think in the 10 years I've been here, we probably used a heater maybe 2 weeks
Oh
worth of
no,
time.
it'll be 60 in a bit, I would imagine. Because at the moment it's 12 degrees outside and that's 53.
Especially if you're in one of the newer houses around here. If it's like, say 40, 45 degrees outside, it's not that cold in your house. Like it will maintain probably around a 60, 65 degree temperature.
Mhm.
So if you can handle that, you'll be fine. You won't need to use your heat. But like Sarah's grandma, dude, she was just a little tiny, little scrawny old lady. I mean, really small. And you go to her apartment in the middle of summer and she'd have her AC set on 80. Like it was so fucking hot in her apartment. Oh my God, dude, I hated going over there.
Yeah, that's like my cousin's house. You go over there and you stand next to the kitchen and it's like 80 degrees.
And my stepmom was the same way. My dad's second wife, the one that I actually really liked, she was the same way, man. She'd get pissed off. You put the thermostat down to like 74. That was too cold. And she'd get mad because of the electric bill. She'd always have it set at like 76, 78, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I gotta find a better place to put this little box for the weather station, because,
The temperature gauge?
yeah, because where it's at, it's too high. I can't see it. The angle it's on, it kind of makes it dim. I don't know where I want it. I'll find a place for it. I want it to where I could just look at it, see it.
Sure.
Design a bracket for it, print it out, and put it on the wall.
Well, it's on the wall right now.
Ah.
Yeah, it's on the wall. It
Well,
got, it can be put on,
It's high on the wall though, right?
it's high, too high on the wall. Where it was perfect, but it's right behind where the heat from the computer's coming up.
Ah,
So I can't put it there. Where it's at right now, it's actually, the temperature is going down. So it's not as hot where it's at, but it's too high.
Mhm.
I'll find a place for it.
Mhm.
The problem is I gotta have a plug for it, so I need to put it somewhere where there's a plug.
Justin, you have just central air, right? You don't have window shakers? No, he's not here. Because when I was growing up, there was always a window shaker, a big one, in the middle of the house we used to have the fans used to blow it around the house. Then upstairs we had a couple of window shakers, one at this end of the house and one at that end of the house.
Yeah, see, the Sunstar said we run the heat in the winter, just replace the whole unit, $8 grand.
Oh, yeah.
Damn. See, the only down draw to window units is unless you got them installed like really neatly and nice, they do take up your windows, obviously. And they do look a little, I want to say trashy, but they kind of do make your house look a little not as nice looking.
Mm.
I would say that's the only downfall to them.
Yeah, but you
But they're
gotta have a
more,
window unit sometime.
but they're more affordable. Like I said, if you have 2 or 3 in your house
Yeah.
and one breaks, it's not gonna cost you.
You're not gonna have to call for service right away.
Right, you would just throw it out and go buy another one for a couple $100.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to worry about fixing it and all that other crap. And it's not something that's gonna like really throw you in the hole terribly. you know.
Yeah, what was it last year, Justin, that I had my heating and air conditioning changed out?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
past year, yeah.
And it was
It was about
$6,000 or something?
Yeah, that's true. More, and you do have to drain them, have them drained properly. We did that one year, like, it was about 8 years ago. When we first, it was like 8 or 9 years ago. We were living, when we got our first house, the air conditioner broke. And the guy had to order some parts. For the landlord obviously called his guy, and the guy didn't have the parts, so he had to order them. It was going to take like a week to get the parts. And so I went to Walmart and got a window unit for like 120 bucks. We put it in the bedroom, put all the kids' mattresses and everything in our room on the floor, made a nice little comfortable area for everybody in our bed. Was obviously in there. And everybody stayed in that bedroom. And we closed it off, and then at the end of the week, I just took the air conditioner back to Walmart, returned it. And she's saying she paid with cash, and we actually got a little bit of a deal by doing that. It's still a lot though.
I let my freaking die last wristband.
Yeah, mine doesn't have a remote control, but yeah, most of them do now. Ours was like the one that Joe got for us. It was like it was kind of just the most basic one with the knobs. Didn't come with the controller and all that, but it works great for our room.
Yeah, my portable one's got a remote control.
Our room's not that big. I mean, I don't even know what the size is, but it's not that big of a room. We keep the door closed. It stays nice and cold in here. Plus, I constantly clean it out and clean the filters, and I go outside and I spray off the intake and all that all the time and keep it clean.
Mm.
I think we've been using that for shit. It's probably been a little over a year now. It's still working good. So
Mm.
Yeah, I think it's been about a year, huh?
yeah, it's still working good. But like I said, I keep up on it. I keep the filters clean once a week, and then once a month I take the whole faceplate off and I wipe it all out, clean the little vents and all that. I like take it in the bathroom. I scrub it all off and clean it real good.
Growing up,
And
we
then
used to have one right above my bed. And at nighttime, I used to turn the vent dead on me.
yeah.
My mother used to get so mad at me for doing that.
So little Joey was a bad boy.
I was about 16 then.
Uh,
Well, my dad, what would happen is I had a TV in my room, and my dad didn't want to sit in the front room and watch TV. So he'd come in my room and climb in the side of the bed and watch TV in my room. Now I'm 16 years old. I don't want him that. But he'd come lay there and watch TV and then fall asleep, and I'd wake up in the middle of the night with the TV on. And I'd say, go to bed. Yeah. This went on for years. Go to bed. Watch TV in the other room.
Garrick's disease. What are you talking about?
Hmm?
I don't know. Warren put that in the chat. Wonder why that came up. There's something that's caused by air conditioning units in the windows. That's Ron.
What's
What's
up,
up,
Ron?
Ron?
Hey, guys.
Hi, Ron.
What's that over your shoulder? Is that a new one?
The Bobcat.
Hey, Ron, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. Just enjoying the extremely hot ass day here in Florida.
Yeah, I don't want to hear any whining.
Well, it's gotten a little cooler. Feels like 101 earlier. Now it's down to 95 on the feels like
Yeah, it's
temperature.
it was 105 here yesterday.
I was watching one of the guys, and then my mom
This, look.
told me it was like 118 out there where she was at yesterday.
Yeah,
California.
it's hot out here. People think like, oh, you live out in Wyoming, it don't get hot there. It does.
We
Yes.
should to about 100 degrees sometime
What
about.
you need to do? Well, you gonna ever move that?
I don't know. My legs get bigger. Yeah.
This is Don's
You're gonna put some
Bobcat
super glue on it.
that he had at his house.
You can always cut it if you had to.
Oh, that's cool.
Put a little strip.
Yeah. So,
Not the place.
not at my house, but yeah, it's a nice looking cat. Big kitty.
Well, with.
How
Mhm.
heavy is it?
Well, it's a taxidermy. It's
What?
only about 10 pounds.
Get rid of that.
What?
This
Yeah,
one,
okay.
you're gonna do more than one loop on it.
Probably when he was full grown out in the field, he probably weighed what, 40, 50 pounds?
Yeah, probably 25 to 35 pounds roughly. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I'm
that's
just
all
saying-
the-
Jackson and-
Stuff in- There's all the stuff in it. Probably weighs more than that now.
yeah. Yeah, I brought him home the other day. And kind of fits the decor here. I've finally finished I'm almost completely done with my outdoor project. I didn't show you guys that, did I?
No.
Get
You
me
showed
another
us
roll.
last time, but you were still
showed us
Yeah, right here,
working on
look.
it, but you didn't show us the finished product.
Yeah, it's
I
keep
told
in
us I got
mind this
another
was,
year on the warranty. I'd rather break it than send it in, yeah.
Yeah,
This
last
was all,
time you
um,
showed us you had just
They
gotten
probably
the
just gave me
things
money back.
together.
Probably will.
this was all weeds. I built these steps, built these flower boxes or like
Yeah,
landscape
see, when you
boxes.
showed us last time, you just had the box. You were still putting the boxes
Yeah.
together.
I
That's
gathered
nice.
all these boulders. Yeah. And then
What'd
I
you
got a
do, just
little
Go out in
seating.
the fields.
One of my neighbors is he does like with gravel and stone and stuff. And then I started the other side, finished that today. Did this side today.
Nice.
So, but he has a pile of boulders up behind the grocery store, and he said, "Brian, go up and get as many as you want." And I'm like, "Okay." Normally, you got to buy that stuff, and it's not cheap.
What does the herd think about the new decor?
They're gonna have to get used to it.
You still got the same number of deer around there or no?
No, I just have not been feeding them. I've been working so much, and I still get them. They still come here every day. Not as many, but let me check dinner.
No, it's like anything. You stop feeding them, they're going to move on to somebody else or somewhere else.
That's true. That and I was trying to get the grass to grow a little bit. Oh.
Yeah, I stopped feeding my son. He's moving on.
He move out too. He stopped feeding him.
Yeah, he's moving out Monday.
Hey, if it works. Heard you
Yeah,
guys
Joe-
talk about somebody is sick or ill or whatever.
Yeah, Bill
Bill.
Chin,
Bill.
Who?
Bill Chin.
Dynasty.
Oh,
Chin-
okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, the one from Canada.
okay.
Yeah, the one that's spelled QIN, but
He's
pronounced.
got he's got, well, what is, Mark, didn't you say he has?
He had
uh,
a growth. He had a growth on his back that they wanted to operate on to remove.
back.
Is
All right,
causing
Ron.
pressure on his spinal cord, and they thought it was some form of cancer, but they didn't know what because they hadn't checked yet.
That's
But
good.
they couldn't do the operation on his back because he had blood clots on his lung, and they wanted to get rid of them first.
Hmm.
But from stuff that's been going round, they've decided that the cancer may be terminal.
Dominic, how are you?
All right, yourself.
Oh, hanging in there.
Dominic's braving the cold weather.
I'm braving the cold weather.
Yeah, he's down in Australia, which is their winter.
Yeah, they're
49.
opposite of us.
49
Could you-
Fahrenheit.
Tell me, Ron, wouldn't that weird you out going to Australia and being in wintertime in July?
Yeah, it would be strange.
Yeah,
Yeah.
July, June, that time? That'd be just weird.
get the
Yeah, but-
same here.
The daft thing about it is it's Dominic's winter, and his temperatures are the same as we've got in our summer.
Yeah.
How cold is it there?
I told you it's 53
No,
here.
I'm asking Dominic.
Yeah.
49 Fahrenheit.
What does it go to at
Oh, that's not
nighttime,
bad.
Dominic?
Probably we had a 28 the other day, but that's out of character. Probably mid-30s.
Okay.
49's not bad, though.
It
That's
is, it
manageable.
does get to be chilly at night, especially if you're not used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, ours is going to be minimum of 48 tonight.
So basically what I've got here.
Yeah.
But it's in the morning, so we might get mid to high 50s for the day.
Joe's got his buddy.
Our maximum today was 15. But at the moment, when it's a nice, sunny, warm day, it's still not getting much more above 20. So we haven't reached, we've not reached 70 degrees yet.
That's
I
my
think
best
the
man right
most
here.
we've had in the last week's about 64, 65.
Look at yourself. Look at yourself.
Yeah,
Get yourself
about
on TV.
Is that Cleo?
No, that's Valentino.
Valentino.
Why is
68.
Joe loving on his kitchen mop?
His kitchen mop.
Yeah.
See that picture you see? See you
What's
on the
up,
TV?
How's it going, Tim?
Yeah, she's not in the slightest bit interested about what's going on over here. Her dad's there.
Hello, Tim.
Or his dad's there. I should
Yeah,
say.
once a day now, he comes over here and wants to get in my lap.
Now, how old is
Yeah.
he?
8.
He's 8. Okay.
It's like 60 in dog years.
56.
56.
I thought it was 8 years, not 7.
7.
7 years is it?
7 for every year.
Hey, Jody.
So
Jody, Tim.
Precious is about 90.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
8.
looks like a
Loki's
raccoon.
going on 10. And Cleo is 7. Just turned 7. Her birthday was last week.
Mm.
Yeah, you're
Stop.
starting to get that Pomeranian hair back.
Dominic, you don't get snow over there, do you?
Not well, we do get snow, but not where I am. Snow's about an hour and a half, 2 hours away. Mount Hotham, Mount Buller. our Alps are probably uh, probably the only snowfields I can think of in Australia.
Hmm.
Most of them are in
Watch out.
Victoria, some of it in New South Wales. I can't think of snow at any other spot really.
Later, Warren.
Yeah, I mean, when we get
Later
snow,
on.
it's never more than about half an inch of it.
Oh,
And
there's
it's
enough to ski on it.
it's
here.
usually next day. And we can get enough to ski on in countryside or up in Scotland. There's actually a ski resort in Scotland.
Hmm.
If it ever snows in Florida where I'm at, something terribly has gone wrong with
Yeah,
the world.
if it snows in Florida, there's something wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, something has definitely gone awry. Call scientists because something's wrong.
The daftest one we ever had was we had a cricket match in the middle of July abandoned because of snow in Buxton.
Shit, over here,
Interesting.
the NFL, they'll play in the damn snow. They'll be out there fucking shivering. I'm like, Jesus.
If it's
Seems
it don't football and rugby, they won't stop for that. But in the middle of July, it ain't supposed to snow.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's why a lot of stadiums now that when they actually do rebuild a stadium now,
Put a
almost
roof on.
every one of them's going, yeah, to where they can open and close the roofs on them, the super domes.
One of my first year,
Underground as well.
I'm sorry.
Well,
I said one of my first years out here, come out with a buddy of mine from Pennsylvania. It was July 9th. We were fishing. And we went over to Buffalo, which is where I just was 2 days ago, about an hour and a half west of here. Went into town and went to the bait shop, got some supplies for fishing, and got halfway up the mountain. We're up about 8,000 feet, and we're in a blizzard. It's July 9th.
Yeah.
Sunstar, now did the snow stick to the ground or was it just snow?
Mm-hmm.
Because like I was asking her because she said 1989 it snowed in Tampa. But see, when I was in California in the desert we lived in was down in a valley surrounded by mountain ranges and it would snow up in the mountains. It snowed actually quite a lot in the desert. It just wouldn't stick when it hit the ground. It would just melt immediately.
I remember
But
being in LA and looking up in the mountains right from LA, and you can see snow-capped mountains.
Oh yeah, where I lived in the desert, it was beautiful during this winter time, man. And we used to drive up there because we lived right at the base of a mountain range, and we would drive up there. And there was a road that was maintained by the county because they had wild cattle up there. And you could go up that road, and we'd go up there and we'd load the pickup trucks full of snow and bring them back down and have snowball fights and try to play, try to melt.
Sunstar said in 1989 it snowed in Tampa.
Somebody have to teach Paul to refresh his computer.
Stop.
Yeah, I was wondering if it actually stuck to the ground
That
now.
we've been discussing for the past couple of minutes, Paul.
Hey, pick up the phone. Your boy Nick's calling.
Oh, here we go. Another one.
It's your boy. Joe acting like he's all happy his son's leaving. You know, he gonna miss him.
He's Monday. He's got to go help him move. He's got to because he's getting a U-Haul. The son.
Well,
is.
yeah, that's what I'm saying though. It's just he's used to him being there. He's gonna miss him at first.
Oh, sure he is, and the dogs are going to miss him too.
Yeah, it's all right getting a U-Haul, but an apartment would be better.
Yeah.
You know, Joe will miss him. He's gonna sit there. The first night he's gone. See, Joe's gonna have this in his head that he's gonna be calling all these women over and he's gonna be partying and then when his son leaves, he's gonna realize there ain't nothing to do. He's gonna be there all quiet by
Joe
himself.
just gave you the finger, Justin.
It's gonna be just him, the dogs, and whatever ghosts are in his house.
with Justin not living here, now the girl across the hall can come over.
Oh, good. That's great news.
Or even the one he met in the park today.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, he met a hottie in the park today, Justin. When he was flying with he was out with Johnny.
Yeah, drones never managed to do that with me. I can never find fit girls because of drones.
Oh, you just get some pissed off dad that claims
Sure,
you're
like
spying
that's
on his daughter in
had
the
to
backyard.
get done today, so that on Friday, I mean, that Sunday night,
All of this.
it just needs to be daily then turned around.
Yeah, there was some girl out in the field was kicking a soccer ball around, and Justin was kind of following her with a drone. And when she went to leave the park, she came by and said hello to Joe, and so they hit it off pretty good. Come to find out, she just moved there from Louisiana, I think. And
Yeah,
Wait,
Joe.
hold on.
Joe
Wait,
started
Joe,
off a cracking line asking her which high school she was playing football for. It turned out 30.
and she's like
Yeah.
34 years old. You know, had the long hair and the ponytail flipping up and down and stuff. And
wait, Joe lives in Louisiana, so she was from Louisiana or she was from another state?
She moved to Mandeville from
From Lafayette.
Lafayette.
Yeah, Joe's got her entire life history, her email address, and she subscribed to his channel.
Well, the only
That's good.
mistake I think he made was, and that's just me personally, he never inquired into where does she work? What does she do?
Well, see, I think his biggest problem is if he wanted to do a tractor, he should not have showed her his YouTube channel.
Justin, he's giving you the golden finger.
Ugh. Pennsylvania daughter was 40 below.
That was so she could see herself on the video that
Oh,
Joe's
wow. All right.
Mm.
I need to get back up to Pennsylvania sometime and go research some of my family that lives there.
Mm.
You got family in Pennsylvania still?
As far as I know, I do. I mean, I'm sure I have some distant family
Well,
there.
you got the Stickley family, which is very rich, and they're out of Minnesota.
I don't even know, to be honest with you, if I'm actually even related to them. I was told by some family members we were, and then I was told by other ones we weren't, so I don't know.
Ron, you've
But
heard of Stickley Furniture Company in Minnesota?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
Pennsylvania, not Minnesota.
That Justin is related to them.
We're at in Pennsylvania, Justin.
Honestly, I want to say it was around Philly where my grandparents lived, but I don't really know because my grandparents moved my dad and all his brothers and sisters back when they were teenagers in the 70s.
Hmm.
So they were it was like early to mid 70s, I think.
No.
So they were all like either teenagers or in their early 20s when they moved, so.
Interesting.
Actually might have been, yeah, it was early 70s, I think I want to say like 72 or somewhere around there. But I have figured out who my great grandparents are on both my grandparents' sides, on my dad's side of the family, but I want to go to Pennsylvania and see if I can find their graves or any like information about them.
It'd be
Because
interesting.
I know my last name is fucking huge in Pennsylvania. Like, I remember my grandma had some old phone books from Pennsylvania. When she'd go there to visit, she would always bring back the big old thick phone book. And there was fucking pages after pages of Stickley's in there.
Well, you know,
Mhm.
there's companies out there, Justin, that'll do it, track your family tree.
Yeah, I just never done it, but yeah, you got, what is it? What's the most famous one? Ancestry.com.
Yeah.
But you have to pay by tier too. So I think
Mm.
what you do is they give you so much, they'll go back so many, like I think 1 or 2 generations, then you have to pay, and then they do more research and until you can build back as far as they can go, I guess.
Mm.
At the same time, then I really just want to know who, like, I would say my family since I've been in the US is.
I would
Like,
think
I'd
you'd
kinda-
wanna know if you are really related in any way to the
I
strict,
wouldn't get any damn money from them if I was
you
anyway.
don't know.
Paul's looking for a payday. He's like, yeah, you
You
gotta
know,
go
the
check
stick,
that
the
out.
stick, the Stickley probably has a foundation, and you just contact them and say, hey, this is a distant relative, what's up? Stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't even know why my grandparents moved my family out there because it was literally in the middle of the desert, and by the time period there they moved out there, there was really nothing there at the time. So I don't know why
Mm.
they decided to move there back in the day. But they loaded 9 kids up, 2 dogs, and a pickup truck with a camper shell and a trailer.
Huh.
Pulled them all the way across the country. Kids in the back of the truck with on a couple mattresses, is what I was told.
Mm.
They drove all the way across the country. Took them like 2 or 3 days. I think it was like three days it took them, 3.5 days, something like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hot day at work tomorrow. Supposed to be 98 again tomorrow.
Yeah, I must admit, it's weird that because if I drove from here to the other side of the country, it would take me about an hour and a half.
I'll take my motorcycle to work tomorrow. First time I've had it out this year.
Oh, great.
Not that the weather hasn't been good. I just haven't had a chance to ride it.
Have you gone
Mhm.
out and like started it up every once in a while, made sure it was still running good and everything?
Mhm.
You have to ride it in your uniform, or do you have your uniform at work?
No, I'll take my uniform with me.
Well, you can
Yeah,
ride
just-
with your uniform on, can't you, if you're going to work?
I can, but I would rather not. I don't like to, unless I, well,
It
I
doesn't
go to
offer.
work in my car in my uniform. Sometimes I don't like to be in uniform going back and forth from work.
Mm. You don't want to announce it.
Yeah.
My dad used to do that. He really, back when he had his Honda motorcycle back in the like mid 90s, he used to drive his bike to all the way down to the Marine base with his uniform on. And it was probably about a 15, 18-mile ride each way.
It's
He'd get
probably
dressed
about a 50-some mile ride tomorrow.
No, never went out on my bike without full leathers on.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark, there's so many people out there with no helmet, no nothing.
Oh, you
Short.
should see him here in Florida, Ron.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
I'm doing it over there, yeah.
Yeah, because in Florida, you don't have to have a fucking helmet to ride your bike.
Don't hear either.
And to me, that's the equivalent of wearing a fucking seatbelt in the car. I don't. You gonna ticket me? Granted, I always wear my seatbelt, but you know you can get ticketed for not wearing a seatbelt, which is a safety apparatus in your car to keep
Yeah.
you alive.
Yep.
That's what the fucking helmet is for on the bike.
Exactly.
You know,
Mhm. I've got 3 different helmets.
Just like how they allow lane splitting in some states. I think that's the stupidest shit ever. Because
Mm.
at any point, a car could, pull its front end out to try to get over into another lane, and you're hauling ass between a bunch of parked cars on the freeway. And then they
Yeah.
decide they're going to try to get over into the other lane and just, creep their front end out, and boom, you hit it. You're done. Or somebody opens their door or anything,
I
Yeah,
used to see California was those lanes splitting when you get a backup in traffic and somebody'd open up their door to see, like, oh, what's the holdup up there? They open up their door and a motorcycle would come up behind them and split lane and smack them.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like some of those guys on them crotch rockets are fucking nuts, dude. They'll be doing fucking 70, 80 miles an hour through the middle of the cars
Yep.
Yeah.
while they're just sitting there at a standstill. And I'm like, dude, you're stupid as shit. I
Yeah.
was
Right.
like,
you do that, you've got to crawl.
because this other thing is when everybody knows when you're at a standstill on a freeway, people change lanes constantly for no fucking reason because they
Yeah.
think
Yep.
that they're going to get ahead of the lane next to them instead of just
Yeah.
staying in your lane and waiting till you get through it. That's the best thing you
The-
can do.
The point is that they are supposed to look before they change lane as well.
Right, but it's always, I think you're putting a motorcyclist in more danger by allowing them to do that because there's always a potential of somebody not paying attention. To me, you're making it more of a easier way of getting somebody killed or hurt. Just like
Ron,
here, I
have
don't
you-
agree with the no helmet law. I think that's stupid.
Ron, have you been doing a lot of cycling lately?
I haven't had my bike out this year at all. Matter of fact, I'm going down to wash it right after I talk to you guys.
Cause I haven't heard you talk about it, so.
I haven't been on it. I've come real close to selling it.
When,
Well, I just-
when's the big meetup out there?
It's coming up in about 3 weeks or so. Big Sturgis
Sturgis.
Rally.
Right?
Maybe
Yeah, it's almost
get
here.
Matt to do another live stream this year.
Yep. We're gonna have to dust off Matt and have a Sturgis live stream.
Yeah.
A year again. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Why were you thinking about selling your bike? Just because
Hey,
you weren't
Tim.
riding it enough? Or
Doesn't
what?
ride it.
Yeah, I just, nobody to ride with, and I don't know. I used to take at least one big trip a year, but like my buddies out in Idaho, they went by themselves this year. And we used to go out to the Oregon, Washington coast and up to British Columbia almost and ride the coastal highway. And
I was just wondering why you haven't mentioned it in a year and
yeah, it's been sitting down there collecting a lot of dust. That's why I gotta wash it.
Yeah, it was the same way I felt about the drones right at the end when I got rid of them. I just, I was flying all the time by myself and I felt bored because I didn't have anybody to really fly with. Kelsey kind of was in and out of wanting to fly all the time, and one day she'd want to and then she wouldn't want to for months, and then I just, got bored flying by myself. That was one of the other reasons. Because there's just nobody lived around me. Everybody I knew in Florida that flew drones all lived hours from me, Nobody was real close to me.
It's I just been keeping really busy, and I got to work on a wedding video right now, and I got to get my video from last year's Alaska trip done before I leave on this one. Yeah,
when's that coming up? September or what?
August 24th I leave.
Oh, August.
Plan on ever doing some like traveling overseas at all or anything, like in Europe or anything, or Asia?
Yeah, I want to get over to Australia. That's why I'm saving my United points.
Don't
Gonna
go
be a
over there.
long
It's
week.
just a mini version of the US.
except it's probably nearly as big.
It is
Well, we have looked at the overlap map. The US is
85%.
pretty good bit bigger, but yeah, Australia is pretty big.
Sunday, July 14th.
Yeah.
12 a.m.
I can attest to that.
Sit back and up when I was young.
Australia is
Okay, I'm going.
almost roads nowhere.
All right, later, Tim. I'll probably be on it later this evening.
Nice, Tim on. Hi, Tim.
At some point, I'd like to go overseas and go through, go and travel through Europe a little bit. And there's a few Asian countries I want to go. Actually, there's only really two main Asian countries I want to go to. I want to go to South Korea and see the DMZ line,
Yep.
and I want to go to Japan.
Man, it's a
Yeah.
very interesting place.
I won't mind going to Japan.
I want to
Or
go
in-
check out Japan just because of the freaking amount of damn. I want to go check out all the vending machines they have there, man. They got a crazy amount of vending
Hi, Johnny.
machines.
I want to go to
Hey,
India.
I've watched some people do some vlogging footage going through India, and I don't know if I want to ever go to India. to be
Depends
honest
which
with you.
part of India you go to. That's
Yeah.
all I can say.
I mean, I
I
don't
have Indian
particularly want
friends.
to go to the touristy places. I want to go and get some authentic Indian food.
Oh no.
Mm.
See how it compares to our
The-
authentic Indian food over
The
here.
level of sanitation, sanitary.
Yeah,
don't
yeah. The level
know.
of sanitation certainly does worry me.
Yeah, it does. Cause I've seen, like I said, I've seen some people do these vlog videos through India where they're like, "Oh, everything's peachy king," but then you get the guys that go through there and they show you what it's really like,
Yeah,
and it doesn't look all that
sanitation's an
promising.
afterthought.
It just makes me not really want to go there, to be honest with you. Some of the videos I've seen.
Mm.
Especially with like the train service over there where you have almost as many people sat on the roof of the train as you do inside it.
Now, I did hear that recently the Indian government has cracked down on people riding on the outside of it, but I don't know if they actually are enforcing that. But I heard that
Mm.
because they've had issues with a lot of people getting killed, falling
Mm.
off, and actually they had a train derailed, didn't they, about a year ago? And a bunch of people got killed that were on top of the train.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it was about a year ago. They had a really bad train accident over in India, and a crap ton of people. I think there was a couple hundred people got killed. And I think that's what sparked the whole thing with them kind of cracking down on how many people can be on the train. And because they don't have any kind of like, as rich as India has gotten over the last
Mm.
20 years, because they've doing a lot of outsourcing for other countries.
Yeah.
They haven't really it doesn't seem like they've really invested a lot in their infrastructure from what I've seen.
Nah.
Like their infrastructure seems to be very, very poor in a lot of places. Like really bad. Like the electrical lines, remember when we were looking at those that day?
Yeah.
And the dude was standing
Yeah,
in the puddle of water hooking up a 240
There's-
line.
Well, the sewers are pretty much non-existent, but
Hey, guys, I'm gonna pop out. So,
All right, Ron.
All right, Ron.
Have a good night.
okay.
Thanks for stopping by.
yeah, good to see you guys. So, everybody take
I
care.
mean, you can get like a family of 7 going down the road on one little moped.
Yep.
Well, my only concern is traveling to different areas of the world. As an American, it's not as safe as you would think it is.
Depends on what countries you're in.
They
And how
target
you-
Americans a lot of places.
And how you portray yourself too. If you come off as a kind of dim-witted pussy American, they're liable to try to take advantage of you. I don't know, I'd probably get arrested because I'd get too mouthy. Like those, like that one guy was telling, like I said, like that guy that was talking about the fake, the fake monks that were selling the bracelets.
Mhm.
They would give you a bracelet and tell you it's free, and then they expect you to give them something, like a donation, but they're not real monks. It's like just a scam they're doing. I
Yeah.
said, to fuck around, give me a bracelet. I'm gonna walk the fuck off, and you ain't getting a dime out of my pocket.
Yeah, but
The
you'd
hell
end
you
up
gonna
getting a
do?
knife in the back.
Yeah, I'll whoop someone's ass.
Yeah.
What's up, Johnny?
Hey, Johnny.
Johnny, how's it going?
I'll be like Tim in
I heard you were
Australia.
out. You were out today with Joe, and Joe didn't want to fly your equipment.
Yeah, I'll be like Tim in Australia yelling constitutional rights when I don't get my way.
Yeah.
Joe's on the phone. Must be talking to his son.
They
I
all-
actually, you know what's crazy, Mark, is I actually watched two British guys that recently went on a trip to Afghanistan.
Oh.
And no, they actually had a decent time there. Of course, they were nervous, but the Taliban actually didn't screw with them at all. They actually treated them well for why they were there. Like they didn't screw with them at all.
Mm.
That's half of the Afghani refugees came to Britain.
But yeah, they actually had a modern hotel that was not bad inside. I was
Oh.
really
Yeah.
because Afghanistan don't have much infrastructure.
Mm.
Us went over there and started bombing shit. There wasn't much to bomb.
Exactly.
Yeah, you see a lot of things about various countries just by watching some of the motorbike tourers channels on YouTube.
Yeah, I watched I think they were British, and they came over to the US and they rented or they ended up buying uh, one of the little, like Mercedes vans, like the campers that are all decked out.
Mhm.
And they went across the United States, up through Canada. I think they went to Alaska. And then they came back down, went down through Mexico, went to South America, down through Brazil, and then came all the way back up. And when they were all done with that big long trip, it took them like, I think a little over a year and a half. Then they sold the van and went back.
Yeah. You have a few of them from over here that go over there and think rather than take their own vans across, they find it easier to buy one. Although for a foreigner to buy a vehicle and insure it in the States is not as easy as you would think.
I wouldn't even know, to be honest with you. I've never had to do it. Never had to go through that process. So I have no idea how that even works.
Well, it depends upon which country, and most of the means of transportation is either public transportation or motorbikes, mini bikes, whatever.
Oh, he's talking about somebody coming over here to go on like a year or two's long road trip, and they'll come over here and buy a camper, and then they'll use it for the year or two, travel around Canada and the US and Mexico and all that.
Then
And
sell
then
it.
they'll sell it when they're ready to go back.
The awkward thing about it is you've actually got to live in the state where you register it at. So if you don't live in America, actually registering it in your name is not easy.
Yeah,
Yes.
or if they get a work visa and they actually have a job working out of the camper, they could do it that way too.
You just use our legal system. Get a lawyer.
Well, because you can get a work visa and you can live here for 20 years off a work visa, but the only stipulation to a work visa is you have to maintain a job. The minute
Yeah.
you lose your job, you only have so long to get another one. If you don't get one in that time period, then technically
Well, and
You're
the
supposed to
government
leave.
tracks you through your tax payments, right?
I'm assuming so. Yeah, that's how it would work. But yeah, that's like like I said, I knew a lady here who was married to an ex-Marine or Army guy, and I worked with her at Walmart. She was from Britain, and she had been here 20 years on a work visa. Just because she was married to him didn't mean she got citizenship. She was over here on a work visa for over 20 years before she finally went and did her citizenship test, and she got dual citizenship.
Well, isn't that what Tim did?
No, Tim's a permanent resident. He's not an actual citizen. He
Yeah,
just
but he
has
went over
permanent
there
residency.
on a visa, didn't he?
I don't know. I think he
Well,
just went
enough.
over there on a passport and then he filed for residency after so long.
Jonathan,
No, you still have to.
what family?
I don't know how Australia's legal system works on that, so I'm not sure.
Like, if you don't have a work visa, you can't work. If you don't have a
That's
student visa, you can't study. If you're going on holiday, you have to have a tourist visa, and that only works for so long. And you can apply for different types of country there.
Yes and no. Things have changed here. You got people coming across the border all the time that are granted all these temporary visas and given money. So
Yeah, but he's talking about somebody that was coming from like Britain doing it the legal way. If you're actually
they're coming
following the
from all
legal
over
rules.
the world across our border.
Oh, I know. I'm saying there's not a bunch of British people coming across the border in Mexico.
The other day it was reported that there was 17 French and 4 or 5 Italians came across the border.
Wow.
Yeah,
We
some
got
French
Chinese
are trying-
coming over every day, coming over with all their documents and all that spy equipment, but yet they want to brand the drones. You know?
They had enough sense. What they do is they get a little moped, a big box on the back of it,
What's up,
and
Jonathan?
say they were burrito delivery guys.
Yeah, Uber Eats.
Oh. Yeah, Johnny tried to peer pressure me into flying through a gap in a net today. I wouldn't do it.
Was a soccer net, right?
Yeah,
Had a
the
hole in
flight's
it.
gonna look pretty cool.
Johnny fly through it?
Yeah, Johnny flew through it. Man, Johnny got more money than me. I ain't worried about that. He ain't worried about that.
So you tell him I'll use your drone to do it.
Well, actually, he was handing me his one he built. He said it was easy. He was handing me the one he built to fly it in manual. I wouldn't do it. I said, I break my own. I said, I still have PTSD.
I've always been one of those people like if I feel like I can't afford to replace something, even though somebody's like, "Oh yeah, I don't care, take it for a ride, whatever," I won't get on it unless I have the money to replace it if I break it because I just would feel bad.
Mhm.
Because there are people out there that don't give a shit. They'll be like, "Get on my fucking $30,000 motorcycle, haul ass down the road. I don't give a shit if you wreck it." There's people like that. They wouldn't give
Yeah.
2 shits if you wrecked the fucking thing. They just replace it and get another one. But at the same time, I would feel really bad if I did that, you know?
And I tell you what, that drone that he built, that thing was quiet. Flew pretty good.
Good then.
You gotta turn it on first.
Yeah.
No, it was on.
Hey, Justin, there's a cracking scene in Bad Boys 4.
Tracking scene?
Cracking.
No, cracking. Good.
Great. Good.
Yeah. It's something that they didn't expect from the person that was doing it. I'm not. I think it was the older of the two's son.
What did you watch it on?
What did I watch it on? I watched it on IPTV.
Yeah.
Let me check my apps and see if it's available yet. Because I know they had one available, but it was a cam version.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was
It
a
was-
canvas because the audio was just a tiny bit echoey, but it was still watchable.
Yeah, I was gonna watch that Quiet Place movie the other day, but it was just
Hmm.
that one was really bad. I've had a couple that were really good and decent, but that one was just, yeah, that one was overly bad. So I watched about 10 minutes of it and I was like, yeah, I'll just wait till they put a HD copy on here.
There's a funny bit in it where he said, "Those alligators." Yeah. So I thought it was supposed to be an abandoned alligator park. It was people, not the alligators.
Oh, let me check my phone and see.
And I'm like halfway through the new Mad Max, which is 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
So Dominic, what's your plans for the day today?
Oh, not much. I got my football on today, so
Oh, what time's that
Yeah.
on?
1:45 my time. So that'd be what, 11:45.
That's something I forgot.
45 PM US time.
I forgot. They had the
Who's playing?
qualifiers for the women's Euros today.
Okay.
Who's playing, Dominic?
My team and a team from Western Australia.
Who's favored to win?
Probably not us.
Thing yet.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
we didn't do bad. All except for one of the British teams won.
Oh, great.
Scotland beat Slovakia 2-0.
Okay.
Northern Ireland beat Malta 2-0.
Good.
Wales beat Croatia 3-0.
Mhm.
And England beat the Republic of Ireland 2-1.
Oh, great.
Why there was only one of them had to lose.
Yeah.
So when does England play tomorrow?
The final, yeah.
So they'll lose tomorrow.
Who they playing? Who they playing in the finals?
Spain.
Who?
Going to be a harder
Right.
game than pretty much any of the ones they've played already.
So it isn't the final; it's a semifinal, or what?
That's
No,
the
it's-
final. It's a Euro final. Yep.
We beat Holland in the semi-final.
Yeah, I'm gonna have that hot weather tomorrow, so I'll be able to sit here
The Netherlands.
and enjoy it.
Why they changed from Holland to the Netherlands?
It's probably more inclusive.
What do you mean more inclusive? It's the same country.
I know that, but you've got to. Every time someone changes something, it's because they have to be inclusive.
Yeah. And you'd be able to go on to David Paul because Holland also played orange, just like Blackpool.
Yeah. That orange wave. We've got a team in our competition, and their colours are orange, mostly orange, a little bit of grey and a little bit of white. And they're referred to as, it's not their team name, but their nickname is like the Orange Tsunami.
Uh-huh. We call the Dutch were known as the Orangie Boomers.
Yeah.
The Orangie
Yeah.
Boom was actually a Dutch beer.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's getting kind of quiet. Maybe we should call it, huh?
Oh, we're good.
England will
We're
be
good.
in
What do you think,
white.
Joe?
and
We're good.
Spain
We're
in
good?
red.
I'm good for at least half hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing to do. Nothing to do until then.
It's too hot outside.
It's
Yeah,
too
I'm
cold
at
outside.
91.2.
Now your son is working tonight?
Yeah. He left.
Didn't you say he was having to work a bad district tonight?
Yeah, they got a big block thing coming up tonight that's gonna be, it, last time they had it, it was bad.
Shootings or what?
Yeah, 5 people were shot.
Mm.
Yeah.
So history would tell you that it's not going to be smooth.
Well, it's a party for one guy that's getting ready to go to jail.
Yeah.
So tell me about it. What do you think?
Yeah, what do you think? It's
And
no
it's a
birthday
Friday
party.
night. And it's a Friday night, so you got all the other crap to deal with.
So that's the proper meaning of the word, a going away party.
Yeah. Gives a new meaning to going away party
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, he said, yeah, it's about the time. It's about time for it to get on tonight. That's what he said when he walked out here.
Well, he wears his vest, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
Well,
The
I would
bullet-
imagine the county and the state police and everybody will be there as well, right?
No.
No?
Covington and St. Tammany.
Are the bulletproof vests stab proof as well?
You would think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Kevlar.
Ed,
Yeah. They have like a stainless steel mesh in the ones here for stopping stabs. Yeah.
yeah, same here.
Yeah, I don't know if he does.
A bit like the old chainmail that the knights of old used to wear.
Yep.
So saying that, I will have to, once I've finished watching these films, I think I'll be spending a few days watching the rest of the House of the Dragon.
Hmm.
Watched the first episode of it, and it looks interesting. They were having a big jousting tournament.
Mm.
Oh, wow, Edward.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Another people were shot at a block party.
Where is it?
Right.
Yeah. Detroit.
Well, that's all the time.
Yeah.
Well, they had Tangipahoa Parish right above where Johnny lives. They got video of a car pulling up by a house, guy getting out, and then he comes out with a Uzi and just opens up on the house. You see,
Yeah.
there were 30, I think there were 10 bullets hit the house.
I was
You know?
saying last week there was 20 people killed at one.
Where is this, Chicago?
Detroit.
It said Detroit.
Oh, Detroit, Chicago had 40 something. Yeah, Chicago had like 40 something. New Orleans last weekend had 7, 4 in the French Quarter.
Hmm.
And the French Quarter was always a spoken, not, you don't go anywhere in there with, you have any, no problems in the French Quarter. Because that's the tourist area. Now the tourist area is having problems.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, also I fancied going to New Orleans to eat just to sample the different types of Cajun food.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy. Nobody has a regard for life anymore.
Yep. Seems that way.
That's true. Mm. Mm.
And this is the hardest 2-minute video that I've ever edited.
If
I was about to say I did it again. I was about to, me and this computer were going to fight. When the upgrade, the last upgrade for Filmora, what's happening is that
Hmm.
I've got all my presets in there, all my little titles and everything that's set up.
Yep.
All I got to do is drop the film in or the video in,
Yep.
and then work from there. And all my stuff's at the end, and all my stuff's at the beginning. Now, when you drop the stuff in between it, it knocks everything on the end off. So you got to copy it and then paste it back. So when you copy it and paste it back, like just a minute ago, it wouldn't paste it back.
Hmm.
So I had to start it all over again, to do it all over again. Usually this little 2-minute, 3-minute video takes me 8 minutes to finish. I've been
Hmm.
working on it for 30 minutes.
Jesus.
I've had to do it twice, and then it just almost didn't do it again.
Here comes your boat there, Captain Joe.
Yes.
Yeah, it is mine. I wish it was mine.
Well, does it only allow you one video timeline?
Yeah, no, you can do different video timelines, but what happens is I may find out if I could pull it up and then do it. Well, what's easy, I just go to the end and copy the 4 things, and then I may just move it up on the next line and see if it stays there, and then bring it down when I need it.
Yeah, because
I
like
don't even have to bring it down technically.
I think LumaFusion gives you 4 or 5 different lines, so you can put a different one on each one and shuffle them round.
Yeah, I got 4 in the music line, 2 music
Yeah.
lines.
2 music lines. It's the same as LumaFusion then. Yeah.
Well, I got 5 and 2. I got 5 and yeah, I got 5. Shoot. Yeah, I learned all this on my own, so I'm learning still, you know?
Yeah. Just drop one video down on each video line and then move them around from there.
Yeah, that might be the way to do it. See, but right now what I'm doing is I'm taking those 4 items at the end and copying them, and then I'm putting my thing in and going right to the end and pasting them right back. And they're good. It's usually good that way. But that's since the last update. They started doing that. Feels like right now, let's see, I got 91 degrees. Feels like right now 103 here outside.
How it feels like is exactly the same as what it is.
Okay.
And I'm comfortable right now inside. I moved it down to 73, and I'm comfortable. I'm actually getting a little chill in here inside Cause I closed that sliding, I put the curtain up by the sliding door.
Yeah, it gets weird that because even though the temperature's still exactly same as it was during the day, it does feel chillier at night than it does during the day.
Oh,
Mm.
man.
Yeah,
There's your yacht, Joe.
yeah, I wish. If I had that, I'd live on it.
You'd have to, cause you couldn't afford jack shit else. Definitely wouldn't have a car.
Definitely got a point. Yeah, you definitely got a point.
Should have known what you would pay for a nice house wouldn't even be a down payment for a fucking boat like that.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
Up,
you know what the name, they
JDS?
know what the name of that boat is, Joe?
What?
Sten, Sten.
Then Aurora? Did it say out of New Orleans?
No, the Dancing Hare, Hare.
Oh, okay. Dancing Rabbit.
That's it.
No, a hare's different than a rabbit.
Close enough. Same grouping, huh?
Mm, the marsupials or whatever they call, but no, a hare has longer ears than a rabbit.
Well, let's get technical.
And normally a hare's bigger than a rabbit, though you can get some fucking big rabbits.
I can't imagine what it costs per hour. Plus it's got a captain, a crewmates, and it's got probably housekeeping and all kinds of stuff on there.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like you said, Justin, that you couldn't afford it if somebody gave it to you.
Hell no, you didn't have shit in the fridge, nothing. Wouldn't
Huh?
even have fuel to run it, just be docked in the middle of the water. You're just sitting there like a stranded fucking island.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably running 20 gallons an hour just on fuel.
Said something last night to my son, trying to think of what it was. I
You
said
have to-
something and he started laughing and he said, "Oh, I got something to talk about for about a week."
Yeah.
He's like,
You'd have
I'm
to-
gonna talk about you for about a week.
You couldn't afford the birth fees of it.
Heading for the
Plus
lake.
you got to keep up on maintenance on the hull and all that crap. If you're going out in the ocean, you got to
JDS.
get the hull cleaned off all the time. And
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, you're talking about a lot of money to have a boat.
And I'm
That's
gonna
it.
put it to you this way: just going fishing with my nephew and my uncle and my cousin. When that boat comes out the water, you get the brushes out and you start scrubbing.
Heading for Harbor Springs. I don't know where the hell that is.
To be honest,
Yeah,
to
we
have a
use-
boat like that,
Yeah.
you probably have to be worth at least 100 million or more, at least,
Probably a
because
billionaire.
a boat like that could run you at least $10 million. So if you're worth like 40, $50 million, you're not going to be buying a 10, $15 million boat. That'd just be stupid of you to do that.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you'd have to change the bikini babes on the back once a week at least.
Yeah.
I'd have them in the back, in the front, and in the middle.
Yep, that's Joe's yacht right there.
Now, see, you got to have Elon money when you could spend $1 billion on a yacht and
In
it'd still be
in
worth.
another lifetime,
ton.
Joe.
Yeah, right. There's no other lifetime.
Just hits
Let
the
me
lottery
say.
when it hits like $1 billion again.
Yeah, but you won't get $1 billion because they tax you on yours.
There's
It's
four
33%.
people right there.
Let me show you my yacht. Hold on.
We don't get taxed on our lottery winnings. Not that they can take much tax out of £2.70 anyway.
Yeah, if you won $100 million, you'd get about 66 million after taxes.
Here you go. Here's my yacht, Paul.
Near you get all of it.
There you go. There's Joe.
That's my yacht. That's a P road.
Mhm.
See how it's sitting in the water?
Yep.
Yeah.
You getting 3 inches of water and that thing will flow through it.
You probably fit a mini fridge in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alligator fit in there real good too. They climb in it. Snakes
Oh, I'm just
be going down the bayou. A snake will come in and on you.
Swamp
I'm
Just
just
fight with the
saying,
snake.
Edward, to get in the market for just a basic ass small tiny yacht, you'd be looking at least 10 to 20 million. I mean, for a small basic one, you know, obviously size depends on how much they cost and what amenities they have.
You mean all basic luxury yacht?
Yeah, just a small, like what the rich community would consider a ghetto boat. You know, they'd get on it and be like, "Oh, this is nice, you know,
Yeah.
it's only got 2 rooms in it. Gross."
Yep. Yeah, you see that
So-
little boat right there? We had one that's about a 10-foot one. We had a 14-foot one where you had 2 people in it. And my brother was in the front and I was in the back. And we're going through the back of the slip by the camp. And we hear something rustling through the leaves. And it's either gonna be an alligator, a nutria, or a hog, wild hog. One of the 3. Usually that's what you hear. Every once in a while you'll see an otter get in the water. So I'm looking around and it's getting to be nighttime. So we got that starting to get dark. And I'm looking around trying to figure out what it is. And then I look over and it starts surfacing. It's a gator. And it's coming up and it's about 3 feet behind us and it's coming up following us. And my brother I'm like 16 or 17. So he was like 8 or 9. He's in the front and he's the kind that if I say something, we're going to flip. Because he's going to flip us out of there. Because he'll get too nervous. I said, Kirk, do me a favor. I said, don't look back. I said, I need you to paddle on the right side of the boat real slow. I'll guide it in the back and just keep paddling real slow, just like this, each real slow like that. Why? I said, don't ask me. I'll tell you later. I said, but it's very important that you listen to me on this. So this gator actually came up even with me. And I'm looking down at him and his head was that wide.
Oh, wow.
And I'm looking at him and I'm trying to gauge, he got to be as big as us, and we're 14 feet. And it's just swimming alongside of us, looking at us like this. And then he starts slowing up. So once he slows up, I said, paddle a little bit faster. Don't splash the water though. So he said to me, he said, if you don't want me to splash the water, is it a gator? I said, don't look back, just listen to me. So he kept paddling, and the gator backed off. And I told him, I said, now turn around slowly and look. We're safe, don't panic. He turned around, rocked that sucker, almost still flipped us out. You know? And I told him, I said, boy, you flip me out, I'm gonna leave you here.
The fuck if I'm gonna get into a water with a boat that flips that easy in a water like that. Fuck that.
But well, that's Louisiana, you know? That's what we grow up with. You want to get back in the bayou, you get a pirogue.
I just don't go in the bayou. Make it easy.
That sucker was, you're right, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, ain't no reason to be going in the bayou.
Well, but we had 3 of those pirogues out there that were 14 foot. And we were, let me tell you why I was nervous with my brother. So we're out in 2 different boats. I'm in the thing with Ronnie Spadelli, and he's in one with Jimmy Fields. So we're about maybe 30 feet from each other. And we had stopped at Dunkin' Donuts and I had a box of donut holes. And I said, Kurt, you want a donut hole? Yeah, man. I said, here. I threw it right outside his reach. So he reaches for it, flips the boat.
Oh, wow.
So they're in the water coming up. Jimmy's having a fit. Why'd you reach for it, man? He said, I thought I could catch it like this. And I said, I threw it right to you. What you doing? You know, like that. So they get back in the boat and everything. I said, man, I'm sorry. I said, I thought I threw it right to you. I said, you look like you just misjudged. Ronnie's falling out in the back because he already knows what's going to happen. So I got a note and said, here you go. Threw it right outside his reach. Reached for it again, wound up in the water.
Ah,
Jimmy turned around, looked at me and said, quit throwing them over here. Ronnie Spadelli looked at me and he said, you know, you do it again. I said, yeah, I know. If I threw it another one, we'd put him in the water again. And he still gets mad at me when he thinks about that. He said, you were cruel to me. I said, I know. 8 years younger brother. We were playing football in my grandmother's backyard, and he made a cut that made me look silly. So instead of him getting by me, I tripped him. Come up with a dislocated thumb. So I got chewed out for that one. Another day, he tried to jump over me, and I threw him back, tore up his knee. Got in trouble for that. I gave him that BB gun, and he said, it's not working right. He points it at his hand and shoots his hand. So that wasn't my fault, but I got blamed for it.
I was outside shooting birds when I was a teenager. I don't know, I was probably about 12 or 13. And I was outside and I was shooting birds and my dad got pissed off at me because I was shooting just, you know, these were just innocent little sparrows flying around. I was fucking dinging them with the pellet
Yeah.
gun. He goes, why the hell are you shooting them birds? I said, I don't know. There's something to shoot at. And he goes, well, hand me the gun. He goes, now run. If I take off running, pops me right in the back with the pellet gun.
Hurt, huh?
Said, it hurts, don't it? I said, yeah.
Well, we never did that. We used to get the Daisy Red Riders and have wars in the woods. They would have wars in the woods, and that didn't turn out well a lot of time. I had my glasses hit a couple of times where to get new glasses.
Joe, it's a wonder you survived childhood.
Yeah. See, nowadays they shoot with AKs.
Yeah.
Well, it's got a better distance.
You're right. Better impact. But I'll tell you what does hurt. Those old kid shoes we used to wear. And you shoot somebody right on the side of the ball of their foot with a BB on those canvas shoes. Man, that sucker hurts when it hits you right down the side of your foot. Feels like somebody stuck something all the way through the foot.
Wow.
All right, I'm jumping off. Go find something to eat for dinner.
Yeah, it's getting about that.
Okay, so it's 7 o'clock. And you guys ready to call it?
Yeah, I guess we're gonna call it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
everybody,
call it now.
Thanks for being here. We'll see all of you again tomorrow. And
I will
also,
definitely be here.
Justin's going to be on later today, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for the warning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.